Howdy folks, I'm here this morning. I got a new order of jigs in yesterday from Santone lures, and I tell you, the colors are great. But colors aren't the only thing that makes a jig. Actually, what makes a jig, a really good jig, is the hook and the shape of the head. And so we're going to look at these jigs. This is the first time I've ordered these. We're going to open one up here and take a look. And the first thing I want to look at is see that hook. And I can tell you right now, that is one stout hook. And it's got a needle point on it that is sure to penetrate that bass's mouth. And I tell you, but you need a strong hook on a jig because you're setting the hook hard. A lot of times you're in heavy cover and it's a big bass. And then you ain't gonna hate nothing more than setting the hook, have a fish for a second, and he'd be gone. And you reel that jig in and see that hook straightened out. And I've seen a lot of jigs out on the market with light hooks. They just won't handle the big bass and the heavy cover. Well, I can tell you right now, this jig's hook will handle them big boys and big girls. It's a rattle jig. The head's shaped good. You could dual purpose this jig. You could flip it, or you could work it in the open around rock piles. The rattles have a good sound to them. And I really do love these colors. I really do. I mean, these are some colors that you don't see a lot in some of the other jigs. This one here happens to be the red pumpkin chartreuse. The paint on the head is great. The weed guard is installed very nicely. There's no mess there. It's a stiff enough weed guard to keep you from getting hooked up, but yet it's not overly stiff. You ought to be able to set the hook really nice with that, with this weed guard. I got some colors that have been working for us here in the bayous down here in southeast Texas, which the main color is that pumpkin red flake. Now this one here reminds me a little bit about what I called the Texas bayou bug. It's a June bug chartreuse. The Texas bayou bug is purple and yellow. But when I seen this, I said, well, you know, I got to give it a try, and I think this is going to be a dandy color too in the bayous. And of course, your tackle box is not complete without a pumpkin chartreuse. Oh, and look at this one. I mean, this is great colors, great colors. Awesome. That's a fish catching jig right there. I can tell you that right now. In the bayous, that is going to hammer some fish. Well, we've taken a look at them. They're built sturdy. The colors are great. I guess test will be in the pudding when we put them in the water. Have a tournament to fish next weekend down here on Hall's Bayou. The fishing has been tough on Hall's Bayou the last few weeks. So I've got my fingers crossed that these new jigs will bring me a little extra luck, because I'm going to put them to work and see if we can't catch a few bass with that tournament. Hope this helped you decide on your next jigs, because I would recommend Santone lures for your next jigs. Thanks. Bye.